If there's anything valuable that I've learned in life when it comes to respecting people, it would have to be learning when to shut up. As I've lived my life throughout the years, I now realize that I have a bit of a hard time accepting the fact that I do in fact like to defend myself for good reasons. Of course, and not in a way where I defend myself just because, but in doing so throughout the span of my life, I have also realized that no matter how right I am, or no matter how right I think I am, defending myself with the appropriate proof alongside my claims in terms of defending myself, there is a certain boundary that I am still learning to not cross, because once I cross that boundary, no matter what I say, despite it being for a good cause, starts to sound pretty disrespectful. And I acknowledge that. For example, this happens all the time. Every time I talk to my parents, my close friends, or even people I'm meeting for the first time, I always have to make these minor adjustments to what I say in order to keep the environment respectful, if that makes sense. And whenever I talk to people, no matter who it is, we have to acknowledge and understand that even if you do consider yourself to be a relatively smart person, let us keep in mind that being right isn't always a good thing. In terms of academics, yes, perhaps, but in terms of just having normal conversations and even debating or arguing, even if the person you are conversing with is incorrect, sometimes it helps to be humble about it and to, yes, acknowledge that they are incorrect, but at the same time, try not to make your motive as being the guy who is always right. I understand that, yes, it's respectful to correct someone when they are wrong. Constructive criticism is helpful, and yes, that may work with some people. But for example, if it ever came to your parents, sometimes it is best to just shut up and keep your thoughts to yourself, because no matter how well we deliver the message, always keep in mind that we have to stay within the boundary of being respectful. And if that requires you to keep your mouth shut, holding back every point you would like to make in order to prove someone wrong, then just keep those thoughts to yourself. And I realize now that if we learn to do that, we can realistically avoid a lot of arguments. Just because I may be correct about something, always remember that at the end of the day, the only thing you gain from that is probably pride or things related to your ego. And these things don't help us in any way. You might say it builds up character, but if you think about it on a deeper level, it's building a character that people won't like. And if they won't like you for that, then honestly, what's the point of building that kind of character? It's useless. And you also might think that, yeah, well, I'm older now. I'm not a kid anymore, therefore I have freedom of speech. And yes, I will agree with you. You do have freedom of speech, but I'm also going to say, do not use that freedom of speech to disrespect people, and instead use it for the right reasons. And if that requires you to keep your mouth shut, do yourself a favor, as well as everyone else, by learning when to shut up. So hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, you guys have a good one. Bye.